Hello, Hollywood Times viewers. Judy Shields here. Today we welcome a filmmaker, writer, producer who will be screening his new sci-fi fantasy short film called Spaceman, which is set to open the 20th annual Oscar qualifying HollyShorts Film Festival next Thursday, August 8th at the TCL Chinese Theatre in Hollywood. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dan Abramovici, and yeah, all the things you said were true. So we're off to a flying start.
And
Thank
where are
you.
you dialing in from?
I'm in Toronto, Canada, which is surprisingly super hot and humid right now. So if you see me like wiping my face, it's that, not that I feel threatened and scared and dishonest.
Oh, I thought it was maybe meeting me, but
It's
okay. Well,
also that. It's also the Hollywood Times. Oof.
good plug. Why is it so hot and humid in Toronto? I thought it was beautiful all the time there.
No. It's we have winter from like November to March, and then it's nice for like a month, and then it's chaos humidity.
Really? I seriously didn't think you guys had
That's not fair. No,
humidity.
it is nice quite a bit, but it's I think it's kind of similar to New York weather. It
Okay.
gets a little humid and in the
Yeah.
summer.
I've been to Toronto a couple times, but I guess it wasn't during summer then, because I don't remember humidity,
Sure.
but it is beautiful up there.
It
Beautiful,
is.
beautiful. Well, folks, I have to say your film is a wonderful and intriguing film that truly is.
Thanks.
I love the opening and ending scenes were way cool.
Thank you.
That's amazing. First off, how did you come up with the title and the idea of for Spaceman?
I mean, in Spaceman, our protagonist kind of goes on like an inwards journey, like an inwards exploration, and I kind of wanted to physicalize and show it as a sort of like sci-fi space exploration, but it's an exploration into his subconscious. So I kind of had a line in there a while ago that was like, be like a spaceman is kind of had like wasn't like my mantra to myself when kind of trying to figure out this journey, and it just sort of stuck. I just liked that it was clean, one word, a little bit intriguing. At the time I didn't realize Adam Sandler would have a movie also called
I know.
Spaceman,
What are you gonna say?
but they're very different films. But yeah, it just kind of stuck. So yeah, I think I
Oh,
like also titles that are just kind of simple, you
yeah.
know. Yeah,
It's like a one person name, Dan, you'll always know Dan.
yeah. Abramovici.
Yeah. I'm curious about the use of mime, stop motion, classic animation, and theatrical elements. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of so with this one, I wanted to shoot a film that was about a person who had a very unusual passion, and his passion is kind of classic Hollywood era performance artists like Buster Keaton, Charlie
Mm.
Chaplin. Um, I wanted to see if I can communicate this journey of his, um, going up against his imposter syndrome and kind of trying to rediscover this unlikely passion again with as little dialogue as I can. And because we had the conceit of going into his subconscious, kind of like an Alice in Wonderland sort of thing, it allowed me to sort of be like a kid in the candy store and think of like what are the different ways that he might imagine this fantastic journey. And so where appropriate, it's puppetry and more modern VFX if things shift a certain way. Stop motion, which is modern but also old and very tangible. Kind of at every point, I wanted to make it have kind of a DIY um, human kind of made feel, but also, feel modern and exciting and accessible and all that. And a part of the reason why too is originally the conceit for Spaceman was I have a feature that I've written that explores a lot of these themes and builds them out a great deal. And I wanted to see, can I tell this story with, with mime, with clown, with circus, with all those kind of things that I love.
Yeah, you pulled it off, gotta say.
Thanks.
Did you do your own research to help with directing the actor Trevor for your film? And what was it like working with him?
Trevor Copp.
Oh,
Yeah. I
see?
mean, no, he was It was an absolute pleasure directing Trevor. Trevor is an incredible mime and clown in his own right. He's I think working with Cirque right now or has worked with Cirque. But anyway,
Oh,
he's one of those people that kind of like carry the torch of mime and clown into, 2024, which there's not a lot of those people, and he's incredible at it. He's relatively new to acting in film and TV, so my direction was a lot of it just making it work for the camera and kind of making him comfortable with this new environment. But the mime side of things, that was all him, and then I would try my best to kind of capture it and elevate it.
yeah, because to see him, like we don't want to give away too much, but just to see the way he moves, I'm like, is he floating in air? What's going on there? It was
Yeah.
brilliant.
And that's the thing is it's incredible what somebody like that who has such confidence with their body and that was also a big appeal, like working with people that do stuff that I absolutely can't, working with
Yeah.
dancers and mimes and climbs and acrobats and things like that. Like
Wow.
you can tell stories that you didn't even imagine because you're seeing what they're capable of doing and you want to write for that.
So I can tell you now that's going to segue into you doing a documentary about Cirque du Soleil and all those kind of people because now you know how to film them, right? So that's next for you.
I hope that the next thing for me is that feature. That's the
Oh.
hope.
Well, let's talk about the cast, especially getting J.K. Simmons on board.
Sure.
No pun intended, but you know, they had speaking roles, right?
Yeah, yeah. So J.K. Simmons, he plays the role of our main character's father and imposter syndrome. Mena Massoud plays his ego and just his like id and
Yeah.
another kind of side of his subconscious that kind of, propel him on this journey. Um, you know, Getting in touch with JK, I mean, that was incredibly thrilling, and I owe a lot of that obviously to the producers, to Mina, to Ali and Press Play Productions, because they were able to get in touch with his team, and to my complete surprise and delight, an Academy Award winner like J.K. Simmons wanted to even take the time to watch a rough cut of this short, weird film about a mime, and then agreed to lend his voice to it, and then even, was really cool with taking direction and was just a pleasure to work with and did it super quickly. So I didn't think somebody in his position would even look at, you know, what this little film is happening over in Canada. But yeah, he's a real mensch.
Yeah, and his voice sure lent to it when it needed
Yeah,
to. He's got that voice,
he's
doesn't he?
incredible.
He's yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, watching him in Whiplash,
What an
and a lot
amazing
of his
film.
roles, like he's
Yes.
such a chameleon, but also nobody can scare you with like a stare or a hard word like J.K. Simmons if he wants to.
I always like to talk about the score and the music of the film. Let's talk about that.
Sure. I got to work with Spencer Cragen and Chris Rainick, who are, in my opinion, two of the most talented composers in Canada right now.
Nice.
Young, up and coming, also very established, but they're just absolutely incredible. This was my second time working with them. They scored another film I did called Liminal. And they've also scored another film that I have that's, hopefully going to be released in the coming year. They're wonderful, and they're a wonderful duo in that, Spencer is so adept at so many different things, but like a classical kind of like Hans Zimmery, this kind of
Yeah.
bombastic orchestral thing. And then Chris also has a very modern sensibility, bringing in, like electronic flourishes and dance type of influences and EDM. And the combination of it was really perfect for this kind of journey through sort of different experiences of the subconscious. And then we managed to get the song Free in the Knowledge by Tom York of The Smile and Radiohead. And
Oh,
that was just absolutely incredible that they allowed us to use that.
yeah, it sure, that's to me, that's why I always ask about the score and the music, because to me that can make or break a movie to me, because it really can get you like, wow, it brings you down when you need to, brings you up,
Mhm.
your excitement, your fear. It's
Yep.
all that. It's amazing how they can write music to movies like that. It's always fascinated me how they can do that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that I always marvel at with Chris and Spencer is they're always able to enhance the story. They never put anything like on top extra that makes it in any way feel forced, you know, like some of the fun in working with the score in this one is finding moments where the music can almost go against what's happening to just kind of like throw you off a little bit. Like there's this moment where of, you know, release for the main character,
Yeah.
release for this main character. And, you know, rather than, you know, pushing it out in like a Michael Bay sort of way, not that there's anything wrong with how Michael Bay makes films. I like Michael Bay, but you know, we really tried to kind of underplay it and find these little pockets where, you know, the image can take over, or these pockets where it's the score that really carries things along.
The props and visual effects are top notch. Do you, as a director, have a hand in those? And how did you come up with the concept of animation?
I always knew that I wanted animation in there because that's kind of a part of like the dream logic of this main character. And I knew I wanted stop motion. I knew I wanted classic animation, and I knew I wanted the animation to look like something that our main character felt like he could maybe, if he got really good,
Yeah.
pull off. So like nothing that looked too rendered. That had to have kind of like a homemade feel almost. And then um, I found these two incredible animators, Eloise Luna, who's based in Paris, France. I found her by kind of scrolling through the Instagram of the Gobelin School of Art in Paris, and she had something featured there, and I just, you know, reached out like that, and she was an absolute pleasure to work with. I don't speak a word of French. She speaks a bit of English. We used Google Translate the whole way through.
Oh
Uh,
man.
and so she handled a lot of that kind of more painterly animation. And then Jesse did a lot of our kind of like composited kind of, you know, through the looking glass kind of stuff. And he's a Toronto artist. He's fantastic as well, Jesse Ewells.
So did you film it up there in Canada then?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We filmed it all in Toronto over 3 days.
Three
Yeah,
days. That's
it
amazing.
is.
It just seems like
Yeah.
such a lot. I
It was
wanted
a
to
lot
know,
of
did
work. It was a
yeah,
lot of work.
did you do a great deal of editing? Were you there in the editing room too?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mike Riesecker is our editor, and I've done every project that I've done with him, and hopefully the feature, and yeah, he's kind of my we kind of like share like a Borg hive mind sort of thing. So yeah, he gave a lot of time on this project, and it was an absolute pleasure to sit with him through a lot of it.
What's it like for you as a director when it's all done and you get to sit there? Do you go to a screening room by yourself? Do you have other people come? How do you do it as a director the first
I
time?
mean, well, we do a lot of as we go through it, you know, we'll have exports that we do share with filmmakers and people on our team that we
Yeah.
trust to get feedback. But it's always like crazy stressful and exciting the first time you see your movie in front of people in a theater. Um, it's terrifying if there's aspects that you feel badly about, you know, like moments that you know are compromised. You hope that
Oh.
it doesn't kind of like I'm really proud of this film. We did what we set out to do. It's also a weird film. It's a
I
weird
love
arty
it.
film about a mime with, you know, like so I don't know how audiences are gonna respond. I think, you know, it has universal themes of chasing your dreams and having doubts and being scared behind your mask and imposter syndrome and you know and I'm so excited to see it on the big screen in LA at the Chinese
I
Theater.
know, I can't wait.
So yeah, so I'm excited, I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you, we are all gonna stand up and cheer. It is that
Oh,
good. The ending is just like, what? It makes you
oh,
stand
that's
up and
nice.
cheer. Can't wait to see it in the big screen as well. Um,
Thanks.
Share your social medias about the film and yourself. social
I
media?
don't have a lot of different social medias. I'm an old chunk of coal, and also I just find it tedious to navigate all the different ones. So I'm easy. I'm just at Dan Abramovici on Instagram. I think I have Facebook, but if truth be told, I think it just shares from my Instagram to Facebook.
Yeah.
So just at Dan Abramovici. That's it.
Also, I'm curious, what made you pursue filmmaking? What did you want to do as a little boy?
Oh man. I mean, always. Well, I started off as an actor, but just like being a part of telling stories is just the most fun thing. Like I see this as like playing with my action figures and my trucks and playing pretend with my friends in the
Oh,
backyard, but now I get to do it with stop motion and incredible actors and these sets and things like that. But it's the same sort of play, you know?
yeah.
And then I think being an actor, and I also worked for a while as a photographer and also working as a writer, directing for me is kind of like the synthesis, the kind of the Venn diagram middle of all my favorite things. So yeah.
Well, we kind of like touched on this, but for the audience coming up next Thursday, what do you want the audience to receive or interpret from the message of your movie?
You know what? I think I'm gonna leave it to them. Um, I hope they find the film hopeful and yeah, hopeful, I think is the one thing I'll say. But
Oh.
yeah, it's funny. Like I don't want to be all David Lynch with it, but like I don't like it when, directors are like, this is what I want this film to be, because it's kind of like with a song, you want to be able to kind of take your own thing from it. So there's a
Yeah.
lot we put in it, and I hope they notice things, and I hope it makes them happy.
Yeah, just people pay attention because it's worth watching from the minute it starts till the minute it ends. You just like, okay, I want more. This is one of those ones that you can make into a longer one. It's really that
Well, that's the
fascinating.
plan. That's the plan is we
I hope
have we
so.
have a feature script, and
Nice.
spaceman sections of it exist in the feature, but that's the hope, is that reaction to the short is good, and the script is going around right now, and
Oh,
hopefully we go to camera in the next couple of years. That's the goal.
so is that what you're currently working on right now?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's
Yeah.
the title going to be of that one? Hint, hint.
Well, the title for that one is Searching for Marceau.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Searching for Marceau. So it too has a bit of mime elements,
yeah.
but it's a bit more of a grounded story, a little more like a musical, except instead of flights into song and dance like a Bohemian Rhapsody or a Rocket Man, it's flights into our main character's subconscious, which is explored through, Buster Keaton-esque
Yeah.
physicality and Chaplin and kind of theatricality and all that, which is how Spaceman is related to this larger story. But yeah, um, it's an undertaking. So hopefully by 2025, we can say we're in pre-production.
All right. That's a good year, 2025, right? That just
Yeah,
sounds so futuristic back in the 80s, doesn't it?
yeah, yeah. We should have jetpacks by now.
I know, why not? Right? Or what I call it, hoverboards,
Yeah, yeah.
all
Not just
kinds of stuff.
Vaseline, just full on hoverboards. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us here at the Hollywood Times. We will be putting this up on our YouTube channel, Hollywood
Cool.
Times Official. So we look forward to you will be out here for the opening, of course, next Thursday.
I'll be
Right.
there.
We will look forward to meeting you in person, and we will talk to you after the film and all the reactions and how you liked your standing ovation. Right.
Oh, okay. Thanks. I,
And
I, I, I think I think that one's going for Jodie Foster, not me, but thank you.
oh, come on. It is really good.
Thank you. I
I'll
appreciate
get
it. Thank
I'll get them up and standing. You're
I'm standing
welcome.
up for Jodie Foster. I love Jodie Foster. She's
Isn't she
my
something?
favorite. She's the best. She's the absolute best.
Oh, I got to meet her here at she came to have her hands and footprints at the TCL Chinese Theatre
Right.
during Turner Classic Film Festival. They usually do one every year. And to see that girl take her shoe, no one takes their shoes off. They just step in it. She took her shoes off and got in that cement barefoot. You go, girl.
Yeah.
You
No, she
know,
she rocks, Jodie
and it
Foster
was
does.
her and her wife's 10th anniversary. that day,
Oh,
that
cool.
actual day. So that she came out to see everybody, and she's
Oh,
amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis came to talk about her and their friendship. So it was pretty good.
cool.
So, any parting words for us today before you say so long?
No, just thanks for caring. It's short films. We have the festival circuit, and it's a lot of great artists making really cool stuff with a lot of passion. Sometimes not a lot of money, but a lot of creativity. So, you know, thank you for caring and helping us build an audience to keep the art form thriving. It's much
Yeah.
appreciated. Thanks to HollyShorts.
Yes, thanks to them. And get yourself cool. Go get you some ice
Thank you.
on your head.
Ah, thank you.
See? Nice
All
one.
right. Take care.
Oh, yeah, you too.